Right, question 9, and this is one that's going to be answered by every member of the panel, and it's a question from Lily Ella, who is a Year 7 pupil from Norham High School.
If you could design an app which could do anything, what would it be for?
Great question. If you could design an app which could do anything, what would it be for? So I might as well go along the table, and we'll start with Sergeant Brady.
Hi, Lily. I would design an app, and it's something I've discussed with Mr. Hanson previously. I would design an app that tells the young children and the youths of the area what different clubs are ongoing, so what different social clubs are, what scouts, brownies, I know that's probably a little bit below yourselves, but something that would tell people what's on so that you know what's on at a weekend or on an evening when you're out and about. But in with that, you know, I think the benefit of that would be everyone would know. I think there's lots of things going on, but not everybody knows about them. And it could direct you in the direction of doing things, different clubs, and keep you out of trouble, really, and keep you... Sometimes I think antisocial behaviour is often an issue across the area, and yes, there's some naughty kids, but most kids aren't. And sometimes the minority spoil it for the majority. And other conversations, again, I've had with Mr. Hanson, is around the fact that there's a tolerance, and sometimes older people are intolerant to large groups of kids, and actually you're not really doing anything, but the thought is that you might. And I think I would design that would help sort of divert you to do other things rather than perhaps hang around where you could potentially get drawn into things that you wouldn't like to, and things that would keep you busy. But part of that app as well, I think I would include some things that can give you a bit of help and advice around things, and a way you can report things that sometimes people don't want to speak to their teacher or don't want to speak to the police, but almost like an anonymous reporting forum, so you've got that voice and someone you can speak to.
Thank you, Sergeant Brady. Councillor Hodson.
The last person I would ask to design an app would be me. I think I would come to people of your age group to show me how to do that. But I do think a piece of magic that would suit me very well would be something that told me where I'd left things and where I'd lost things. So if you could do that, that would be very helpful.
That's a very, very good suggestion. Heidi Douglas.
Okay, apps are great, and we wouldn't have things like Ypqt if it weren't for digital technology. However, for me, the amount of time that young people are actually spending online, on devices, at the expense of actually living in the offline real world is becoming a bit of a concern. And I don't know if anyone saw on the news last week around the report around loneliness, and the group that we're seeing the highest increase in loneliness is 16 to 24-year-olds. And unlike older people who say it's about a lack of kind of having people around them, what 16 and 24-year-olds are saying is, I've got loads of friends online, but actually what's missing in my life is actually high quality, good friendships, and people that I can talk to in a meaningful way. The UK currently recommends that no one should be spending more than 2 hours a day on a device. Put your hands up if you spend over 2 hours on a device. Me included. So it's not just children and young people, it's adults as well. In Taiwan, what they're proposing is to fine parents £1,000 if their children spend too much time on online devices. So obviously I'm not going to design an app that finds parents, but actually what I'd like to do is design an app that actually rewarded people to get out and explore and connect in the world around them, have face-to-face conversations in the real world, an app that actually gets you off your screen, not on your screen, gets you having fun, connecting with your friends, family and the wider community.
That's a very good suggestion as well. Norma Redfern.
Thank you. I think I'm being perfectly selfish here. I would like an app that was a personal shopper, right? I mean, you can get your groceries and everything now, can't you? But I'd like an app where you just fed in how tall you were, what your weight was, what your characteristics were, and then all of a sudden they would come up with lots of outfits, right, ready for the day, what the event was. and the next day it arrived at your door, and it fitted you beautiful, and it suited you. And I'm very envious of all these people who go to Phoenix and John Lewis and have their personal shoppers and come out looking absolutely fantastic. So I think I would like that.
Another great suggestion. Councillor Ehrlich.
Well, I'm probably a bit lazy when it comes to doing the right thing if it's a little bit harder to do the wrong thing. So I'd like an app that makes me a slightly better person, a better member of society would be good. I'd like an app that pushes me to take better actions and make better decisions on issues relating to the environment and health and well-being. Just some kind of general encouragement. I don't want it to give me electric shocks or anything, although there might be some people who quite like to see that. So perhaps an app which says things like, when I'm going to the coffee shop, you go into the coffee shop and you haven't brought your reusable mug, or perhaps it could scan the contents of my supermarket basket and say, are you really intending to live on ready meals and biscuits for the next week? What about buying some fruit and vegetables? Or hang on, you said you were going to the gym, you just walked past the gym, you're not going to the pub again, are you? At the moment, I think it could probably also say, you're going to watch Newcastle play again today, you know that just ends up making you miserable, don't you? You may notice I haven't said that I would need this app to encourage me to do my work as a councillor, and there are a couple of reasons for this. The first is the mayor is my boss, and I don't know if you know this, but Norma used to be a head teacher before she was the mayor, so she's quite good at telling me to get things done. And secondly, there's all of you. You're all residents of North Tyneside, so as an elected councillor, I'm answerable to you. So it's great that in Local Democracy Week you're here today asking some really difficult questions about what concerns you as young people, and I hope you'll go on doing that, and especially as you get towards voting age, that you'll register to vote and vote in local elections so your voice continues to be heard.
Very good, very self-aware there, Councillor. Karen Goldfinch, you are a graphic designer. You've got a head start on the rest of us. What would be the app that you design?
I'm not quite sure I'm ready for doing app designing, but I'll take that, thank you. Yeah. Mine's slightly different. It was a really tough question. They've all been really tough questions today. So, you know, Liliana, that was a fab question to ask here. And mine was slightly different. And I first thought about recycling app, about recycling what was near you. But then I thought about there's lots of these pass it on groups already existing. So my next one was, and I don't know what I'd call this, but something about trusted places to go, keep me safe, I need help, etc., that kind of thing. And we've already heard that, you know, North Tyneside is a very, very safe, and it's great that you all feel safe when you're out there. But there might be that odd time when you think, oh, I'm walking home, or is there somebody there, or whatever, or it's anything that you need help with. And it could be that you've got a connection with all the different businesses that are out there, the shops, the organisations, facilities that are there. You think, if you put into your app where you've got a location on it, you go, oh, can I just walk into somewhere and go, I'm okay. It could be that, you know, on a mental health level, it could be that you think, I actually need somebody to talk to. What's around me? Who can I speak to? Is there a group somewhere like voluntary organisation that Robin runs? Is there something in the local authority? Is there health agencies around about? I just need a coffee with somebody. Just something that you can just look at and go, I'm not feeling great. I need to come speak to somebody. So I tried to think of a fun one, but I was kind of thinking that'd be quite useful to do for people, I hoped, anyway. So that was my thoughts.
Thank you very much, Karen. Robin.
So if you don't want to make your millions being a British Sign Language interpreter, why not be an app developer? Ridiculously expensive. Heidi, you like this? There's a lad who lives in Whitley Bay who was at Whitley Bay High School, did his year 13 last year, who has the unique combination of being an IT genius and an incredibly personable kind of guy. So Harry James has actually developed an app called DC, which stands for Disconnect. So he's come up with this great, don't pinch this because he hasn't started selling it yet. He's come up with this great way of, if you go out with your family for a meal or you're with a group of friends and you've all got this app, you can all vote to turn each other's phones off so that you can continue to chat. And in order to get everyone's phones back on, everyone in that group has to vote them back on. So it's a great way of using technology to stop technology from getting in the way of people's lives. So Harry James, DC, I'm sure he would be keen to talk to you, and he too can be a millionaire. But yeah, Why not use it for that? But also, just to cheat on the second one, why not develop an app around British Sign Language? If you get an app that recognises words and then creates the appropriate sign, I think we could be onto something there as well.
Some very good suggestions there. Obviously, I'm going to have to come back to Liliella because no doubt she's got the killer app design at her fingertips. You've had some very good suggestions here, though, so we've got a head start. We've come to the final question, Sadie. The time is rushed through. I would design an app that would allow me to come back every year and present North Tyneside University questions.